We don't understand how money works. You only have your money sitting in cash. If your money is just sitting in cash, realistically, you're becoming poorer every day.
The vast majority of humanity does not understand how the world works.
Yep.
You have to understand how things work.
For me, the understanding the basics and the fundamentals. Like once you start understanding the fundamentals, you give yourself power. And so most people look at the machine and marvel. 98% of the people who I know look at the stock market and say, yo, that's not a game I can play. The world is set up, well, listen, cool, I don't even want you to play it. Just give me your money, I'll play it for you. So when we look at like banks, like we understand that banks don't necessarily work in our favor, right? So banks only give us 0.05% interest on the money we have there. But we can get 8% just by putting our money in the index fund. So why would I just sit my money in a bank and let the bank make all the money? The most important thing too is we don't understand how money works. That's a whole different language in its own. The relationship with money in my community is you make money just enough to pay bills. And so once you get tired of paying bills, you say, you know what? I need to treat myself to something. No matter if I gotta go in debt, I need to treat myself to something to take this misery away. So you treat yourself to something that you can't afford at the time, but it makes you feel good in the moment. And so because it makes you feel good, you say, you know what? I'm living. This is a reprieve from everyday struggle. Let me get back on the hamster wheel. And so the sacrifice now becomes hard because now you're saying, I gotta work and never get that reprieve. I'm not willing to do that. Everybody around me had the same problem. No one represented the solution. So if I don't change something, I'm only gonna end up like everybody else I know. Somebody has the solution somewhere. There's too many people out here living the life of their dreams that I'm watching. They know something I don't know. And the only thing that they had was access to a different type of information. I took my time, I researched the Warren Buffetts and the Peter Lynch's, and I'm not gonna lie, in the beginning, that shit was like Chinese to me. And I heard this term one time that said, the real gangsters are on Wall Street. The real gangsters are in the government. And I was like, damn. The key to wealth is through ownership. So I said the key to building wealth is not how much you can work. You can't work your way to wealth. You gotta invest your way there. And all wealthy people, black, white, Asian, Chinese, they own a whole bunch of shit. The people who aren't wealthy is because they don't own nothing. You only have your money sitting in cash. If your money is just sitting in cash, realistically, you're becoming poorer every day.
Right? Or they own depreciating assets.
And that's what cash is, because the more money they print, the more money that money loses value. Yeah. It's the reason why the bank wants you to have your money there, so they can take it and use it and invest it so much. We can just start owning everything, just a stock. Like that's powerful, because if you can start owning the businesses that you now consume every day, you turn a one-time transaction to a lifetime of profit. And that was major for me, because if I go to the store and buy a pair of Nikes, that's a one-time transaction. In order for me to get something from them again, I gotta come back and buy another pair of Nikes. But if I own the Nike stock, long as I own it, it's a profitable vehicle for me. So that one-time transaction can become a lifetime of profit. If I know I'm an Apple user, if I know I got the phone, I got the AirPods, I got the MacBook, I got the PC, I excited when Apple's about to drop something, why wouldn't I own it? America has one of the biggest trash problems in the world, right? So if I know that Waste Management is a company that's gonna be here forever because we aren't gonna stop throwing things away, why don't I own that company? And another great thing about the stock market is, for me, it now makes me pay attention to the world. And so now I understand what's going on in the world. I started learning business cycles, market cycles. Things are going out of business. Okay, we're in this cycle. Okay, people are hiring. Okay, we're in expansion cycle. So the stock market helped me start understanding how the world moves, the fundamentals. It's saying, invest in your first stock. It don't have to be a winner. It doesn't have to be a home run. It can be an AT&T stock that costs $26 right now. It may not be the best investment in the world, but you started. Wealthy people do three things, man. They stop trading time for money. They make their money work for them, and they give value to as much value to people as they can. The reason why you give people so much value is because if you give them so much value, they'll never leave you and they'll always be there for you. And so I learned that as I got older, that part, but the money working for you part, and I was like, how do you make your money work for you? Again, all I know is how to go get money. First they get into stocks, then they start a business, and then they get real estate. We on a marathon. We didn't get into our situation overnight, right? If we look back at our situation, you see you inherited that, whatever it is, that poverty. You inherited that mindset, that idea of scarcity, that idea that you don't have enough money. You inherited that. Building wealth becomes a revolutionary act because now you start saying, I'm gonna go against what I was taught. What happens is, once you start understanding the power of how your money works, you'll start saying, yo, I don't need to do that because that's taken away from this. The person who works out and sees that they drop 10 pounds in 2 weeks says, you know what, I'm gonna go a little harder because I know if I can drop 10, I can drop 20. If I see one muscle shape up, I know it's possible. The word possible is so powerful. Possible changes the game. Instead of it being impossible, we now say I am possible. That changes the dynamic.